Good afternoon. All right. Hello, how are you doing this afternoon? Everyone doing all right? Yeah. Oh, you guys louder than that. Everybody doing okay? All right. My name is India Birdsong Terry. I'm the General Manager and CEO for RTA here in Cleveland. We thank you for being a part of our celebration this afternoon. We've got a lot of great energy here, hopefully a good mojo for the Cleveland Browns starting up this Sunday. We'd like to be able to thank you for your patience with us over the last year and a half to 2 years as we begin to revitalize not only the Cleveland downtown, but also re-energize the bridge and the waterfront service that we bring to you today. It's our pleasure to be able to really underscore the essential nature of public transportation and what it means to our region. And having the waterfront line functional and serving our constituents in the region is absolutely essential to our success as a community. The waterfront line opened on July 10th, 1996, designated as a legacy project for the city's bicentennial. Today, I am excited to announce the reopening of the waterfront line after 2 years of rehab work. Big, big, big congratulations, absolutely, to the men and women of our engineering and operations division. You'll hear from leaders of those departments to be able to give you a little bit more of a bird's eye view of what work went into bringing the waterfront line back to you. We have a stellar lineup today that will be able to also say thanks in their own way. We will have during the session today more legislative support by way of Congressmember Shontel Brown. We also have a couple of proclamations actually in front of me here, one being by Congressman Max Miller. We appreciate him and his alternate Chase, who is here in the audience with us today. We also have a copy of the proclamation by the Ohio Senate sent over by Matt Dolan and Nikki Antonio and several other members of Congress. We appreciate them for their undying support of public transportation. We have our Board of Trustees. Several of them are in the audience here. If you please raise your hand, we appreciate you. And you will hear from our board chair, Reverend Lucas, later on today. We also have members of our Amalgamated Transit Union here in the audience as well. Please raise your hands, as well as Fraternal Order of Police, who have really laid their hearts and soul into making this come back to life for us. We also have special guests who will be recognized again, Mr. Robert Madison, who is the original architect in this project as well. Centenarian, 100 years young. We appreciate you. Also on our lineup, we have Ted Taiwang, who will be representing the Haslam Sports Group for the Cleveland Browns. Ted is the Chief Administrative Officer and General Counsel. We also have Michael J. Shipper. He is our Deputy for Engineering here at RTA and is responsible for the lion's share of the work that you see today. We also have the Chief Operating Officer, Bonnie Tierwin, coming from the City of Cleveland to be able to share remarks with us. And of course, we have Dr. Flance Caver, our Director of Operations, our deputy without any bounds. He always comes through at the last moment and at the first as well. We appreciate Doc for that, and he will be starting the charge to be able to take the train ride at the end of today's session. Again, we appreciate all of the support. I will pop in as needed as we have additional members of our community. We appreciate all mayors. Mayor Blackwell, I see you, thank you. We also have Mayor Weiss, Mayor Biasiata, Mayor Kumar. We've got Blaine Griffin. We've got so many folks there representing council, Mr. McCormick, so many folks. Please charge it to my head and not my heart if I have missed you. Thank you so much for supporting us. And at this time, I will hand the mic over to Reverend Charles P. Lucas, our board chair, to be able to say a few words as we start it off. Thank you.
Several years ago, when the word went out that we were going to close the trains because we had found that there was structural damage that needed to be repaired, my phone jumped off the hook of Browns fans saying, "Can't you wait one more season? Can't you wait one more season? Why are you doing it now?" Over and over again. Now, I'm sorry this happened, But our friends over in Pittsburgh, the bridge collapsed over there. And when that bridge collapsed over there, not a person called me about the bridge here at all. And I'm so very thankful that we worked hard so that we're opening up today, and it's going to be open for the season. So I know the Browns are going to win because we have the train open up again. And I know that's going to happen. So again, thank you so very much for being here today. It really makes us feel good that you have come today to this great event as we reopen the Waterfront line. Thank you very much.
Reverend Lucas, tough act to follow. Thank you for your words. I'm Ted Taiwong. I'm Chief Administrative Officer and General Counsel for Haslam Sports Group and the Cleveland Browns. And it's just such an honor and a privilege to be here today representing the Browns and the Haslams. RTA is such a great partner and such a key part of our game day experience. At the Browns, our ethos is win, fan, community. Win consistently, take great care of our fans, and give back to the community. On the fan front, we know what makes our fans most happy on game day, and that's winning, right? And hopefully, as Reverend Lucas says, that starts Sunday. But outside of winning and the play on the field, our fans' game day experience is tremendously important to us. And how our fans get to games and in and out of our building is an important part of our fans' experience and their satisfaction. At the Browns, we've worked extremely hard to expedite our ingress and egress on game day. We understand traffic and parking can be challenging, but the return of the Waterfront line will give fans more options and flexibility to improve their game day experience. And we know RTA has worked really hard to improve the infrastructure to enable this reopening, and we really appreciate RTA's efforts. The direct connection to our stadium from Tower City Center to this West 3rd Street station is a valued access point for Browns backers tailgating and those walking to and from the stadium. We are thrilled for our fans to have access once again to the Waterfront line for the ride from Tower City Center to the Muni Lot for all home Browns games. And we thank RTA for all your work to get here. India, congratulations. Really appreciate the partnership. Thank you. Go Browns and go RTA.
Yeah, thanks, Ted. My name is Mike Shipper. I'm the Deputy General Manager of Engineering and Project Management. And 2 years ago, as India mentioned, we had an inspection of the bridge done and had to make the difficult decision to close the Waterfront line. But at that time, we made a promise to have it reopened for the 2023 Browns regular season. And today, through a lot of hard work, we've been able to keep that promise. When we made that promise, though, we still had a $6 million funding gap. And in late 2021, the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act was passed by Congress. And this is the first major project that RTA has completed using the IIJA funds, closing that $6 million gap. We want to thank and certainly we want to thank our current and the former members of our congressional delegation that made the IIJA possible. For our team, RTA, I do want to thank Joe Schaefer, our Director of Engineering, Kirk Dimmick, our Project Manager, Don Tariba, our Resident Engineer, and Lou Catalucci, our Contract Administrator. Our design team from Hardesty and Hanover, led by Howard and Glenn, our construction inspection team from Hill International with Brandy, and our construction team led by Great Lakes Construction and Adam, their project manager, and their key subcontractors, Delta Railroad, Hatzel and Bueller, and DOH Systems. Through their efforts, the post-tension concrete metal bridge has been strengthened and rehabilitated. the retaining walls have been repaired, and the track structure on the bridge has been replaced. During the outage, we were also able to do a lot of other important work at all of the Waterfront Line stations, platforms, track bed, and track crossings, thanks to efforts on the RTA team by Brian Temming, Clark Smith, and Jonathan Lawley, and with our contractors, Railworks and Cook Paving. And as mentioned before, we do have a special guest in the audience, which I would like to acknowledge, our local architect emeritus and centenarian, Robert P. Madison. Robert and his firm, I mean, this is really important. His firm helped design the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Great Lakes Science Center, and even another project that he and I worked on over 30 years ago when he was a young, spry, 60-something-year-old, the Willard Garage under City Hall. So he's got the project surrounded with his work. But for RTA, he also was the lead designer for the Healthline stations and for these Waterfront Line stations. And we really appreciate everything that Robert's done in his career for us and for Cleveland. And finally, if this rehabilitated bridge and project can last as long as Bob has lived, we've truly all done a great job. So thanks to everyone and all their efforts to make this happen. And now I'd like to introduce Bodie Tewan, the Chief Operating Officer for the City of Cleveland.
Thank you. On behalf of Mayor Bibb, I'm excited to stand here today to celebrate this ribbon cutting for the Waterfront Line. This project aligns with the mayor's vision towards a 15-minute city that makes Cleveland a great place to live, work, and play. This link is important to the development of the North Coast. It's part of a multimodal plan that allows accessibility to the lake and to the core of downtown. It will support economic development and improve the quality of life for all income levels. This unique 2.2-mile waterfront line that serves as an extension of the Blue-Green Line near the shores of Cuyahoga River and Lake Erie is an immediate example of our goal for a healthier and accessible Cleveland. Today, I celebrate RTA for taking another step towards the vision of the 15-minute city. The line enhances the city's economic vitality by providing access to residents, tourists, and fans to some of the best venues in the country. The Great Lakes Science Center, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the museums, and of course, the Cleveland Browns Stadium. Thank you.
Well, as promised, we have a special guest in the house tonight, or this afternoon, and I'd like to welcome her, as we always do. Ms. Brown, or as she's widely known, Congresswoman Shontel Brown, is a staunch supporter of public transit, and she is our friend and our family member here at RTA. We are so happy to have her here with us. She has graced us with her appearance on several of our ribbon cuttings, and they all have to do with rail, so we appreciate that. And we would like to hand over the mic for a few moments to be able to grace her with our presence. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and I promise I will be brief. Growing up in the inner city, the RTA family is very familiar to me, so it is always an honor to be here. I'm grateful to be a part of the ribbon cutting, which is a reminder that public transit is representative of public access. And so we have to make sure that rail lines, road lines are connecting communities instead of dividing them. And what we know what's very special about this event is that we have Browns fans in every zip code. No pun intended. There is a Brown in front of you. But we have Cleveland Browns fans in every zip code, and they all should be able to come downtown and take advantage of this waterfront. So this is the start of an infrastructure decade in Ohio. We were just here a couple months ago to announce a $130 million federal investment for RTA for new rail cars, thanks to the bipartisan infrastructure law, which I was so proud to be able to vote for on my second day of being in office. And we're investing in infrastructure, and what that does is that creates jobs, it creates economic development, and most importantly, it improves the quality of life for our citizens, not only here in Cleveland, but throughout Northeast Ohio. So I look forward to many more ribbon cuttings in the years to come, and I'm going to keep making sure that Northeast Ohio gets more than our fair share, especially when it comes to infrastructure, because this is how we are truly all connected. We have federal money coming for the airport, roads and bridges, and for water infrastructure. And I thank you again for having me today. And thank you to everyone at RTA for your hard work and being able to get this done. Thank you so very much.
We've got one more powerful woman in the house this afternoon, Bride Rose Sweeney. She is also a staunch supporter of public transit, and she is a House of Representatives, powerful woman in that state as well. If we would like to hear from you, just a few minutes. Thank you so much, Bride.
Well, thank you, everyone. I'm State Representative Bride Rose Sweeney, and what an exciting day to be here. To be rebuilding our area and to start being known as an area that works together. This was brought by the work of our local, our state, our federal government. At the State House, I can tell you firsthand that we face some pretty big backlash when it comes to public transit. If it wasn't the work of India and all the people at the RTA and the Cleveland and our Congresswoman, we actually, in our last budget, actually got one of the largest increases into public transit in our state's history that makes projects like this happen, to make sure that people can get to and from work, that we're bringing the community together, having people from all different diverse backgrounds and able to enjoy public transit like this. So this is a very exciting day, and I hope we have many more ribbon cuttings to come. Thank you.
Before we hand it over to Doc Caver and the media, we would be remiss without saying thank you to our council representatives that are here, being able to support us. It's not an easy task to be able to bring public transit to you on a daily basis, and it is not easy to be able to take all of the kudos and complaints that come in through the city. So we appreciate that, and without further ado, Blaine Griffin.
Thank you, Ms. Birdsong, and I just want to say on behalf of all of Cleveland City Council, this is very important for us. Downtown's a neighborhood. I know that our downtown colleague, Councilman Kerry McCormick, is around here somewhere, or he was here. Here he is right here. But downtown is a neighborhood. It's a vibrant neighborhood, a thriving neighborhood, and we're just happy that this addition not only focuses on strengthening the downtown, but connects all of our residents to the downtown central business district. So thank you so much on behalf of all of Cleveland City Council. We really appreciate our partnership with you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Flounce Caver, the Chief Operating Officer here at the Greater Cleveland RTA. And on behalf of the 2,000 Operations Division employees, I want to welcome you to the Waterfront. This Waterfront line is a key component of our agency and a key component of our ability to bring transit-oriented development, economic development, and entertainment to this community. The team that keeps this working, so Mike Shipper's team will build the infrastructure that we have, but the infrastructure is maintained by over 2,000 employees who really work hard to make sure that we can have these facilities up and running. And there was two teams that were instrumental in making sure we got this property back together. And first, I'd like to thank Sean Thompson and his team. Sean is the director of the Rail District. And our Power and Way director, I didn't see her yet, but we have members of her team from the Power and Way team. Quinnell, you could shake. They work hand in hand to make sure that we can have these assets and keep them under safe repair and ensure that we can move this city. This will complete our structured agenda, but we want to have two things that are going to happen next. First, we will be here and available to answer a few questions from the media Before we proceed on to a train ride, a train will come up that will take us a ride so that you can see the bridge that has been rehabbed and the other aspects that we've improved here in the waterfront line. So at this time, we will take questions from the media, and we'll take a few questions, and then you'll see a ribbon cutting and a train come. Mike, you want to join me? India? Are there any questions?
Going once, going twice, not sold.
If there are not any, we can take them on the train if you come, and we can still make ourselves available if you'd like it to be a bit more of an intimate question and answering section. So now we're going to move over to the ribbon cutting. So we'll cut over here.
So we have a pair of scissors. So, okay, so